Dreamers, if you have not learned the wheel strategy yet, you are missing out on a ton of extra income, especially on stocks that you already own or stocks that you want to own. If you think dividends is good income, wait until you learn the wheel strategy and how to sell options, not buy options, but sell options. So far this year, inside of the Patreon, inside the Discord, we made over $15,000. Well, we took a little bit of a loss on QQQ last week, so we should be around $15,400. I need to enter that. But the only problem is for beginning investors, the stocks that we are selling cash secure puts on, which is the very first step. I'm going to show you guys in this video the first step of the wheel strategy. You're going to learn everything that you need to know. But the stocks that we've been selling cash secure puts on are kind of expensive inside of the Patreon. So I'm going to show you guys the perfect stock that I do not mind owning myself, that I actually own myself, so that you guys can learn how to sell cash secure puts, the very first step of the wheel strategy. I'm going to show you guys in this video. If you have a $1,000 account, $2,000 account, for example, in this video, we're going to use a $5,000 account. And guys, if you do want to learn how to sell the wheel strategy, you have to join the Dream Team, not the Lucid Dreamer role. Inside the Lucid Dreamer role, you got access to my technical analysis, my 7 pro day traders. They post their option trades every single day. But in the Dream Team, this is where I specifically talk about the wheel strategy and how to sell options. And we host Zoom calls every single Sunday, and we only have 5 spots remaining. I try to keep it real small so I could talk to everybody inside of the Zoom call. So once you get it, you get access to my courses, the wheel strategy. You're going to learn everything you need to know inside of module 1. Module 2, I teach you the poor man cover calls, call credit spreads, put credit spreads. If you don't know what any of that means, consider joining the Patreon, consider joining the Dream Team. And it's going to teach you everything that you guys need to know. Now, before we dive into it, go ahead and hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, because that helps out this channel more than you guys can possibly even imagine. Now, the stock that we're going to be selling cash secure puts on is ticker symbol SOFI, SOFI. Now, the first step to the wheel strategy is only run the wheel strategy on stocks that you do not mind owning long term. Now, once we're selling puts, this gives us the opportunity to buy stocks at a cheaper price. But once again, when you're dealing with options, options is dealt with 100 shares. So 100 shares of SOFI, any option on this is going to cost you around $1,300. Now, before we look at any charts at all, I'm going to show you guys why SOFI is a pretty decent one to sell cash secure puts on. So once you're going to do, you're going to hit trade options, and then let's go out a month. So this is 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks, and 4 weeks. So we're on June 13th, a month out. Now yours is going to start off on buy a call. Remember, we're not buying options, we're selling options. So we're going to be selling a put. This is selling a cash secure put. This gives us the opportunity to buy SOFI at any price point that we say we're comfortable buying SOFI at. And if SOFI do not pull back to that point, then the prices on here is the premium. That is the premium that we get to keep and collect in our account immediately as soon as we enter this trade. Now, the reason I like SOFI is, let's click on this first one right here. Just clicking on the first one, we're looking at the IV. IV is at 54%. Anything over 50 is a good percent for us. So the implied volatility on the stock, the higher the IV is, the more premium you get per option. If it's a low IV, you're not going to get that much premium. If it's up to the hundreds, you're going to get a very large premium. But that means that stocks like to move up and down, up and down, up and down a lot. The lower the IV, lower premium, the slower the stock climb and fall. Higher the IV, it's like a roller coaster. It goes up and down, goes up and down, goes up and down. So you have to find a pretty good entry. The second thing that we look at is after the IV that we see that it's above 50, we're going to look at the Greeks down at the bottom. And the most important one that we're going to look at is the delta. Right here, it says the delta is 0.37%. This gives us the percentage of us winning this trade without looking at any charts at all. This gives us the percentage. So you subtract that from 100. This gives us like a 60% chance to win right here with a 0.3 delta. So we want to look for a delta that is lower. Anything lower than 0.3 gives us a good win opportunity. 0.3 is like 70%, 0.2 is like an 80% chance to win. So let's look for something closer to the 0.2 delta. Anything below 0.3 is fine for us. So let's scroll down and look. Let's unclick that and let's click on the 12.5 right here. At the 12.5, it's giving us a 0.2% delta. That is perfect. It's below 0.3. It's right at 0.2. That is a good entry for us right there. Then the IV is 56%. This is awesome. Without looking at any charts, this look like a trade that I might enter. So as soon as I enter this would give us a $26. It says 26 cents. Multiply that by 100 shares, right? This would give us $26 to our account immediately. And this option will cost us $1,250 because 1250 times 100, $1,250. Now, before we enter this, we haven't looked at the chart yet, but we do have to look at the charts. I'm going to show you guys the only indicator that I use before I show you guys how much money we can make from this trade and what you should be looking to make per trade on SOFI. Let's look at the charts right quick. So here we are on the charts. This is SOFI on the 1 hour chart. We could draw a trend line from the bottom all the way going up. We can see that SOFI is in a good trend going up, and we don't want it to pull back. Right now, SOFI is at $13.93, and we said a 12.50, right? So we don't want SOFI to pull all the way back to 12.50. If it pulls back to 12.50, we're forced to buy 100 shares of SOFI at 12.50, which is good for us. We're buying the stock that we already want to own at a cheaper price, and we got paid for it. The only bad thing is if SOFI do pull back below 12.50, we're still forced to buy it at $12.50. But then we'll move over to the next step of the wheel strategy that I talk about inside of the Patreon. That is selling covered calls. But on SOFI at 12.50, we have a resistance line right here. It have to break that. We have another resistance line right here. It will have to break that, and then it'll have to pull all the way back down to 12.50. Now, the indicator that I use is called the Bollinger Bands. My settings is inside. The settings that I use on the Bollinger Band is a little bit different. I use the 30 instead of the 20. I go into detail about that in other videos, but I'm trying to make this video real quick. Now, this is the Bollinger Band. Usually when price comes to the bottom of the Bollinger Band, and it's oversold on the RSI, it tends to go all the way back up to the top of the Bollinger Band. So price loves to stay inside of this Bollinger Band. If it ever pops out, it likes to come back. If it ever goes to the bottom of the Bollinger Band, it likes to go back up to the top. So this 50 right in the middle of this blue line right here. Right now, SOFI is underneath the blue line, so I'm comfortable selling a cash secure put. This is the 1 hour chart, and any price below the bottom of this Bollinger Band. So we have to break the support of this Bollinger Band at 1343. It will have to break the support of this 200 EMA, and we have to pull all the way back to $12.50 in order for us to not have to get assigned these 100 shares of SOFI. So the only indicator that I use when selling cash secure puts is the RSI and also the Bollinger Bands right here. And since it's underneath this blue line, I do not mind selling a cash secure put at a strike price below this Bollinger Band right here. So now let's come back over to our trade. So if we're a month out, we should be getting $26 for each option of this. We can hit continue, and you want to look for $26 divided by what was it, 12.50. Any profit for this month around 2%. So we hit enter, and there it goes. That gives us 2%. So 2% on the month is pretty doggone good for us. If you do it weekly, you can earn 2% or 1.5% a week. Sometimes you can earn up to 8% a month if you do it right. But right now, for this specific trade on this month of 4 weeks out, we could get 2%. And if we multiply that by 12, if we do it for a whole year, that is 24, almost 25% gain in passive income. You show me a dividend paying stock that's paying out 25%. That has a 25% yield. You're not going to find a dividend stock paying out a 25% yield. That's why I'm telling you guys that you need to learn the wheel strategy to generate real income, especially when you start doing it on larger stocks like Tesla, where that is up to 120% some days. When you start doing it on QQQ, when their IV is up and you earning 4% a week and not 4% a month. But right here on this trade, just to be safe, we're earning 2% a month. That's 25% a year in income. So we come here, remember we got a $5,000 account. So let's enter 4. So this month alone, it would cost us $4,896 to enter this trade, and we would generate an extra $100, $104 of premium this month in income. And as you guys can see, as long as SOFI stays above $12.24, we win this trade. So as long as we do not have to predict right here, we do not have to predict which way the stock is going to go. If it goes up, perfect. If it trades sideways, perfect. If it pulls back, cool. As long as it do not pull back to $12.50, we win this trade. So as long as we see that the RSI in the Bollinger Bands is doing fine, we can earn 2% every single month on this amazing stock. And inside of the Patreon, we've been earning 2% a week, almost 8% a month on some of these stocks, making a lot of money. But if you have a small account, SOFI is a very good one to practice the wheel strategy on. The first step of the wheel strategy is to sell cash secure puts. And there's also ways to win. Even if it pulls back to $12.50, you can always roll your options down and out. Rolling options is very simple. And most of the apps that give you just one button that you have to click in order to roll your options, you can do it yourself. You can do it manually, or you can let the brokerage app do it for you, and you can roll your options down and out, collect more premium, and still win that trade. Guys, learning the wheel strategy might be the best thing. If there's anything that you learn in 2025, you guys need to learn how to sell options, especially using the wheel strategy. It's going to generate you a ton of extra income. It might not be the big gains from buying options and buying calls and buying puts, but it's steady growth, 25% in a year, steady growth, growing your account, start small, learn everything that you need to learn. Let every situation happen with your small account. Once you learn everything, then you can start to scale and really make a lot of income like we've been doing inside the Patreon. Once again, if you guys do want to join the dream team, the link to the Patreon is going to be down in the pinned comment section and also inside of the description. If you guys want to pick up some free stocks, I'm going to leave a link to Moo down in the description. If you sign up, deposit $100, they're giving you free stocks just from signing up and using that platform, guys. Take full advantage of that opportunity. But other than that, guys, I'm Zeke, bringing you the Dream Green Show, and I'm out. Peace.